You didn't see him there. This is live, actual live. Welcome. My name is, you know my name, maybe not. Nobody knows who I am. More and more people know DentalBytes in the dental world. This is Marc Wagner. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, this is an actual live stream happy event. Just trying this out. This is how I usually record them, and usually I make a ton of mistakes doing these, and who cares, you know? I have a special friend in studio. You might know this face as well. This is Mr. Tyler McClendon.
Well, hello.
Hello. Thanks for joining me.
Happy Friday. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And first and foremost, buddy, cheers.
Good to be back.
It's,
Hope everyone's doing well today. I should be putting my mic closer.
Yeah, here, let's just get it off that. Here, let's sort this out. Before we get going here, just to kind of give you a little plug.
A little plug.
Oh.
What have you been doing lately?
Oh, it's small. Can you hear it at all? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Spot the person you know, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at, there's Tyler and his...
With my hero.
I'll put him over top. I'll put the video over top Tyler there.
He's literally my hero. I love that guy.
Zach Brath, right?
Oh.
That was Tyler in his latest appearance on...
Gives good foot massages.
Does he? Yeah. How was that? How was that? That looked like it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was like a dream come true. It was just super cool. Words can't describe it. It was just like, I was so excited to meet him and just to work with him. And I was like, I hope he's super cool, as cool as he was in Scrubs years ago. And yeah, as soon as I got to set, he was just like, hey man, welcome to the show. Like super accommodating, really like just really welcoming. And he was directing the episode. So it was, yeah, I mean, it's aired now, so we can talk openly about it. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. And it was like, I was a huge Garden State fan back in the day. It was pretty influential on my life in my 20s. So just getting to, and we're like, our birthdays are like a month apart. So
actual, like you guys are.
He's April and I'm May.
Like same year?
Same year. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's just cool because there's a lot, we have the same, Gen X vernacular, I guess, for lack of better words.
That was cool. Yeah, you've done a couple little cool things the last little while.
Yeah, some small things here and there along the way. But yeah, I mean, my life is still predominantly dental related for sure. But yeah, it's just fun to sort of mix it up a little bit, right, with the studio here. And I get to work with a couple of really cool actors locally that are like pretty big names in the industry. They come into my studio. Dylan Kingwell works on auditions in the studio here. And for anyone who's much younger than me would probably recognize that name from, Ruby in the Well.
It was hilarious having him at the at PDC. He helped with the camera and stuff, walking around, and like the amount of times that he got recognized, it was pretty,
by people much younger than myself.
Yeah, like that were 15 years younger than us. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was funny when we first started working together because it was like I know his mom, right? So I coached hockey. I know his mom from the hockey league that I coached for years, and then it just happened to bump into his parents, and they were we just got talking about acting, and she kind of threw it out there that he was into acting, and I'm like, oh, I've got this studio if everyone wants to come and try it out or whatever, not knowing a clue, like not having a clue who he was. And then then he called me out on it. He was like, hey, I heard you have a studio. I'd like to come do some work with you in your studio for acting. And I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, well, we'll come on in. I'll show you the ropes, I guess. We'll get you started, show you what a camera's all about. And then when I hung up the phone, I looked him up on IMDb, and I'm like, wow, I want some like water with my foot. So did that door just open?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's haunted.
Yeah, it's haunted.
But yeah, so it was, I quickly realized that he's done as much, if not more than I have on the big screen. So it was humbling to
Yeah, he's a nice kid. He's a nice kid. And,
yeah, we've done a ton of work together. He's a great kid.
And if you see this, Dylan, thanks for helping us out for a little bit there. You're, helped us out. How is the movie industry these days? There's always something going on in Vancouver.
Usually, I mean, there's stuff shooting here. I think it's the whole industry, I think, is going through a bit of a transformation, right? With AI, with really kind of the way movies are shot, location stuff. Like, I just think overall, I think things are quite down historically. But I think it's a bit of a transition where it's like, okay, well, there's all this new technology. How do we handle it? How do we wrangle it? I think auditions are now cast far and wide, right? Like they're bringing in actors internationally, which is great for the industry. I mean, it's great to have a much more eclectic mix out there, and seeing what everyone can do instead of the same 20 actors, right?
Yeah,
which is traditionally the way it's always been done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just cool to see all the new faces, and but yeah, I think it's like the industry's just kind of like exploded and sort of stretched out, I guess, globally is probably the best way to put it.
There's so many platforms now. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's so many, like, it's a content war, essentially.
It is a content war. Yeah. On numerous levels, right? Not just the film industry, but like in what we do.
I know. I was going to segue there. I was going to segue into the AI portion too. Like, you're seeing that trickle into everything.
It's everywhere. I mean, it's now invaded dentist on demand.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, invaded.
Okay,
it's like a virus.
Yeah, like we recently secured the domain dentistondemand.ai, right? Because we had to.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? It's for us, I think it's a good thing. It's dentist on demand has never made more sense than once you implement AI into it, into AI for booking patients and all the like really letting the AI do a lot of the heavy lifting, the tedious stuff that dental practices don't want to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what technology does.
Yeah.
Right. When you open up the hood, it really is like, we're not riding on horses anymore. We have these machines that burn petrol and controlled explosions, and we can get across the continent, right? Like, we're flying. I think
discovered the tractor.
Yeah, there's the tractor, and the tractor's got GPS now. Like, it's, like everything's to the square inch, even with farming. There's always a pushback, and like we can, you chatted about the AI portion, like the video stuff, like that I'm seeing, even in just a single prompt and the things that it creates. Like, when you look at, there's this one video that blew my mind. It was this, it was a Batmobile that turned into a transformer, and you think about somebody, creating that digitally. To now just that can happen on your phone. It's
with the right prompt.
With the right prompt, right? Obviously, it's a prompting game, but it's what does it all mean now? Like, and I think people are there's a lot going on out there right now, and where do you start, and how do you wrap your head around it? You and I have dabbled into the agentic stuff now. Like,
we're starting to get there.
Yeah. So keeping up with it, and I've dabbled in Claude Code and starting building agents and the skills and all that. There's like, you have to sit with it. It takes some time to build out. But as far as the dental practice is concerned, you're seeing diagnostic stuff, Aura Q and a whole different side of things there. What are you seeing? I want to dive into what you're seeing. Are people sort of talking about it, or are you seeing some of your clients out there, dabbling in sort of the pearls and the
Still early.
It's still early,
still
isn't
early,
it? Yeah.
I mean, it's not a topic of conversation yet. Yeah. I think it's more like it's almost like a circus show right now, where everyone's coming to the main event to watch and be like, okay, cool, what can it do?
Yeah.
That's why like something like Pearl AI, it's as brilliant as it is, it's an early adoption tool, right? So it's for early adopters, like DiagnoCat AI. Like there's a bunch of them out. Well, not a ton, but there's a handful of them out there now.
Yeah.
That have amazing diagnostic tools built into them. So I think that, like at the PDC, for example, like I just walked the floor just to see what was happening with AI. Like I wanted to know.
Everybody's talking about it, even with their solutions that they have out there, talking about how what part of it is the AI integration.
Yeah, and just like saying, it's theirs does this, but ours does that. But it's like, well, how long until you can both do the same thing and you both do the same thing all the way up? Like what's gonna separate people? And I think that's actually happening on a macro level, where it's like you've got the Chat GPT guy, or the OpenAI guy, sorry, what's his name? Sam
Altman.
And then you've got the Claude guy, right? The Anthropic guy. Like these guys are like, you can see them battling on a like on a global stage.
Well,
like,
you even have like the Chinese AIs as well. Like there's a few really good ones. Yeah, and open source. So, it's all about the development of these data centers, and that's it's an infrastructure thing. But here's the thing with like building these data centers.
We have the power. Yeah.
Well, it's the power, but the turnover, like. It needs to be changed out every like 4 or 5 years, like the hardware in these data centers. It's an expensive venture, and that's sort of what might cap this whole technology is at the actual brick and mortar physical stuff might, it's going to be expensive to run.
Enough, right? Like I heard yesterday Texas Instruments is going through the roof right now.
Is it?
Because they have an analog semiconductor.
Yeah.
Right. So again, I don't keep up with what Texas Instruments is doing, but I think of Texas Instruments as they're the first company that had
my calculator.
They had the formulaic calculator back in the 80s. I'm showing my age right now, but like I remember when those first showed up, and I remember being like, okay, these guys make calculators, cool. So that's how I think of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm just I'm listening to a podcast yesterday on finance, and they're talking about how Texas Instruments is going through the roof right now, and I'm like, what are they making?
Yeah.
And it's analog semiconductors, which is apparently a pretty important component for these data centers and really for like the processing speeds that these things need to move at. So whoever was running the company when the major pivot happened, or I guess it maybe happened over time, I don't know. But really cool to see a company like that just sort of pivot and like take off.
And I think you're going to see a lot of that. Like you're going to see a lot of it's very volatile.
Yeah.
So you might see some of these big names like either merge or
Intel too. They're also starting to this like, oh no, Intel's going to go down. It's like, oh no, they're like, we have
no. Everybody that makes a chip is going. Oh yeah. At this,
but who saw that coming, right? Yeah. Like I was walking past a store the other day and I saw this company that teaches people how to code. Mm-hmm. I was like, holy smokes! Like that company just went poof. Like, is it going to be around? Like, how are they going to pivot? They're going to be teaching people how to prompt and how to like build workflows.
Well, that's just kind of it. I forget who I was talking to, but essentially the future is going to be, you managing your role, whether you're an accountant or a lawyer or whatever. It's going to eliminate sort of the entry level jobs. Like instead of having these entry level positions doing sort of the grunt work. The grunt work's going to be done by the AI, like all sorts of fronts. So you would envision sort of there'd be some sort of interesting transition where the juniors come in and learn how to sort of manage the agents within their portfolio. So the agents would be doing, if it was an accountant doing all like the tax work or taking the data in from a client and coming up with a spectrum of things that they can do. And then, the operators will then sort of, click yes and no through all of this in having discussions with their clients. Like it's, and the speed of things now, it's, to get a return is going to be, when you think about like if the data is organized, it could be instantaneous, right?
Meta let go of 8,000 people yesterday.
Meta, yeah. Well, you see all sorts of layoffs out there. Yeah. Like to think this,
but that's like what?
Yeah. Well,
I get it. I understand what they're doing, but it's like, what becomes of those employees? What becomes of those people?
Yeah, well, we reverse. I always like bring this up. We reverse through time and we look at the Industrial Revolution, right? You had people on the assembly line. Their job was to take this widget and attach it to. We'll just say that it's an assembly line for vehicles. Right. Now it's like the Industrial Revolution brought on this technology that you don't need those hands to do those things. It's robots, right? Like those people that did those jobs are now on, like there's going to be a huge transition into, these folks doing other things. And like the interesting conversation to have is how many things like that we do in our day to day are touched by digital.
I think so. Yeah. I think, and by the way, I said the quote about Meta, I think they did. I seem to recall hearing it yesterday. So okay. I want to be clear if that number is not correct. My bad. But I'm pretty sure they let them I think Amazon let go of a bunch of people.
Well, you know, Amazon's plan.
Of course. But
with their logistics and everything, they want to have like drones and robotics running the warehouse and operations, like
which I mean, we all see it coming, but I mean, just to go back to your point about like managing the agents or whatever, like the way I think about it in a dental practice is always about workflow, right? Like how is AI how are you going to integrate it into your workflow? Yeah.
And the conversations are clinical and obviously the business center.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I had a conversation in the office the other day, and I was showing them what AI can do for dentists on demand for our clients now. And I was telling the dentist, my client, this, and the receptionist was sitting right next to me. And I was like, 3, 2, 1. She's like, my job's going. And I'm like, your job is not going. Yeah. Like I timed it. I knew she was going to say it. And I'm like, no, I'm talking about this openly in front of you. Yeah. Because this is a productivity enhancement tool.
Yeah,
we still need you in the practice. We need a smiling face. Yeah. We need someone to see that when people come in, right? This is very important.
I had I was chatting with Trent from the Scheduling Institute earlier this week, and it's an interesting conversation. And I just did a pod a couple weeks ago just on like dentistry will always be a people business.
100%.
But where does this technology fit in? Is there's no denying that a high percentage of the phone calls coming into the practice, even when you're talking about after hours, are going to voicemail. And you have a world where if somebody doesn't get a response within 5 minutes, they're 22% less likely to have that patient come to their practice. Why? Because if they're not getting a response immediately, they're flicking to the next clinic on the list.
Yeah, because I've got 5 minutes in my day to call around for a dentist. Yeah. And if I can't get someone on the phone, exactly what you say, right? I don't know these people, right? So say if I just moved to Vancouver or Toronto and I'm here and I'm like, I don't know any dentists. What do I do? As a director, you can go to Dentist on Demand. You can look at the video content that we create. But at the end of the day, if I can't talk to a human, if I can't see something that gives me some inkling as to who these people are, I'm just going to call the next practice. I don't know any better.
And one thing that I don't think, obviously the patient calling in, this technology's like attached directly to the software. So you have the folks on the front end on the computer when you call in, putting your name into the schedule. The AI is doing that. So whether
are you talking about our AI?
Yeah. Well, there we go, right?
That's a little segue there. Dentist on Demand has an AI. Why don't we look at it?
Yeah. There is like an uncomfortable feeling, I suppose, when that you're talking to a robot, and it's come a long way, right? Like the responses that you get from it are like, it can be, you're looking at the technology getting increasingly more intelligent over time, and to the point where essentially now that voice, the AI voice, will be like a PhD level intelligence.
I think so. And I think what's happening to AI right now, and I think we're coming out of this soon, is the chatbot stigma.
Yeah,
there's a chatbot stigma to AI right now, which I think it's going to be around for a little while. It's the same as anything, right? Like cell phones, like the internet, blah, blah, blah. I think that chatbots were always this thing where it's like, they've increasingly become more useful in time. Like over the last 5 years, chatbots, I actually use them now. Yeah. I mean, now that AI is here, of course I do. But like even prior to AI, I'm like, I'd give a chatbot a go. I'd be like, okay, you know what? I can't get through to my cell phone provider. Oh, they got this little chatbot that's like, how can I help you? And I'd be like, well, I can't get a human on the phone, so I guess I'm going to talk to this stupid chatbot, because we'd be frustrated, right?
You gotta be nice to them, man. They're gonna kill us one day.
Of course, but like you know how it goes. You've been on hold for an hour, and you're like, oh, and the chatbot's sitting there going, "Talk to me, dude. Like, are you okay? What's going on?" And you're like, "I don't want to talk to you. I just want to talk to you because I need to fix this now." Yeah. So I think that time that it takes to solve a problem with obviously AI, but like prior to that, it was getting better. Yeah. And now that AI is here, I think that the time it takes to solve a problem with AI is going to rapidly improve.
You know how I kind of see it as, like let's use banking for an example. Yeah. Like the tellers.
Or airlines.
Oh, yeah. But
you can tell I just had a great experience.
it's something to get sort of a flavor for over time. I think people will just kind of get used to, the chatbot will be fast and it'll get there. Like how many times have you been on I'm going to drop an F-bomb. How many times have you been on a fucking, like on a wait for, I remember waiting on, like it was something to do with COVID and the mortgage and the bank, like being on hold for fucking 8 hours.
Oh, dude, like it is the bane of my existence.
Yeah,
we're all busy.
Yeah,
right. And like I have a bad habit of making myself busier than I should.
Yeah.
So when I have to do something like this, when I have to talk to an airline or a bank or get an insurance claim figured out or whatever, like I lose my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
and like a lot of these companies have outfitted their or send this work overseas. Like you've seen the call centers in the Philippines and through India, and they do a fantastic job. They stay up on the hours that, sometimes in the middle of the night for them, they're on calls with people in North America.
Yeah. Sticking to the script.
It's like this speed of what AI is eventually, as soon as everybody kind of gets over that, the change of it. It's like anything with change, people have like a sticky point with, I think.
Well, I think so. We've built a chatbot. See, I said chatbot. We've built an agentic AI.
We built one of them robot guys.
We built a chatbot thingy.
Yeah.
With a blinking cursor. But so ours is, I forget what I was going with that. The one that we have. Oh, so we've built the one that we built. We try to break it. Right. So we're like, okay, so our developers is like, she's like, hey, we built this. Now let's try to break it. Spend the next 3 or 4 days, like whenever you get time, just try to break it. Try to break it.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I liked about the one that we built is that if I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole that I don't like, then I say, put me through to a human. She's like, no problem. Hang tight. I'll put you through to a human. And then she'll come back. She's like, I can't get the human on the phone, but I've messaged the office to let them know that you need a phone call back right away.
Yeah.
So that for me was like, okay, I like this. And then Karen's like, the best thing about it is that it's going to learn this better.
Yeah.
This is where it's starting from. And because it's AI, she's like, it's going to, the Dentist on Demand agentic AI portion of what we've built is going to get better in time for every office, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be, what it does for one office is going to be different than what it does for another office, because everyone's going to have their own.
Well, their own blend of treatment that they do, or like specialty or whatever,
or how they want to bring the patients in.
And that's AI. Like that's like you build the brain of it, so like it will understand a frequency and list of activities on the front end, activities being the calls that are coming in. And then, how did it get to A to B successfully? It will get there. Like it'll be like, it will recognize in somebody's voice that they're frustrated, and it will just prompt itself to, hey, I sense a tone in your voice. Can I connect you with the human in the office? Like it's going to just know this stuff. And I understand why the front end is standoffish about it. They've got a lot of, I don't want to poo-poo the people on the front. Like they are the heartbeat. Like it is the amount of responsibility and flow that
they're the front line.
When the flow coming in and out of the practice, the issue is that flow's not, like the flow's not getting the love that it needs. It's not getting the attention. It's not getting captured. Like the actual opportunity is not getting captured.
Well, we just want to reduce the bounce rate, right?
That's all it is.
It's like
in this world, you need to do that because, like, again, like if somebody is not getting, and this is actual, like I'm not making these numbers up. In actuality, a realistic thing to know is that if that patient is not getting that connection within 5 minutes, they're less likely to become a patient in your practice. Your marketing might be awesome and you might be the place that they want to go, but that's the first taste of the practice too. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's like when we talk about building websites, right? When we were doing that for like when we were like up to our next eyeballs in websites,
Yeah.
we're always talking about bounce rate. Like, how do we reduce the bounce rate? For anyone who doesn't know, bounce rate is basically when someone comes to your website and they hang out for a split second, then they leave. That means that's a bad bounce, right? They looked and went, no, not for me. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But a good bounce rate is when a low one where people come and they're engaged and they engage with the content and they do something. They take action, right?
Yeah.
They're clicking on stuff. They're booking something. They're doing the click to call button.
They go somewhere other than just the landing page.
Yeah, exactly. So they dive deeper into your website. So on two levels, what the AI is actually doing is reducing the bounce rate. It's almost triaging that patient, right? We can't be with you. However, hang out here. We're going to have an intelligent conversation with our agentic AI, who's pretty like learned now how to speak to patients. And then on the website, it'll capture you there, and then it'll also capture you like on the phone line too, to say like there's two areas where we can reduce that bounce rate.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like killing two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah. And it just, there you go. Like it's actual numbers, and it's not anybody's fault. It's not the front end team's fault. Like they should be patient facing. They should be a concierge. I'm going to give a plug to Dr. Faraj Edherd. Like, he's got a great setup. It is so slick. It should be about high anxiety. It's a high anxiety place to be. So not his practice, but
people think it's high. People think dentistry is high anxiety, but it's
not. I realize that there's a degree, like if we talk about it in sort of a spectrum, whereas
Katrina's like, I don't like the dentist. I get nervous.
Yeah, for sure.
I get anxiety.
So if you can bring down that overall percentage in your practice with just having a smooth intake, if somebody's their job at the front end is to, like, hey, Katrina, how are you doing today? What can I get you? Can I get a tea? You know what I mean? Like, It's about like a front end service. We're going to be doing this today. Just so you know, I see that all your forms are set up. You're good to go. Have a seat, relax. The experience is everything. And the experience that somebody gets is, A, they're going to refer somebody, mm-hmm. and B, they're going to come back for their next hygiene. If it, like, I've been to, like, I hate it when they like make it your problem, right? Like, oh, it's so busy. I had a terrible experience with Mackenzie. There was delays in getting into the chair, and I know what's going on. Like, I have an utmost high level of respect for the industry and what everybody does. But what the doctor said when we got to the chair, she's like, I'm sorry for the delay. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's very busy in here today. Like, really?
Oh, okay. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So I'm going to be looking for another dentist with that comment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah. It's not really about you.
No, it's not about you. It's all about the patient. So, and that's hard for a lot of people to think about somebody else other than themselves, like, I think in some cases, right? Like, it's hard when I get it. The practice is crazy busy and you got all this stuff going on and these, all sorts of things to kind of manage throughout the day. How do you disconnect from that? I think it's all about the systems that you have in place,
and the culture, like the team culture too.
Oh,
right?
The team
like
culture, yeah, for sure.
If there's a good culture, if there's a good vibe in the practice amongst the team, I think that somebody might know not to say that to a patient, just to say, well, would somebody else in this practice say that to a patient? Okay, maybe I should fall in line with the culture.
Yeah,
and usually like a good culture will weed out someone who doesn't want to fall in line.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's usually that's kind of what I preach. I'm like, hey, you know what? Your culture is going to dictate how your patients get treated.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, if it's, and then back to sort of the AI conversation, if there's an AI in there to, like, as a buffer to alleviate from some of this, and we talked about this sort of the laborious, imagine, like, there is a company out there that has developed an AI that fields the calls for the insurance companies. So the front end's not the front end's not calling the insurance companies. It's the AI that
Did you
takes
talk
care
to
of it.
this guy?
We've got to talk to these people. They're in Toronto, I think. But like this is where it's going.
Right. Okay. I know there's a couple. I know that there was a company, Dentistry. They were doing something, but I think you talked to you. I'm not sure if they were doing the AI thing, but I know that they had a pretty slick solution for really streamlining the insurance process.
But like, regardless, if it's obviously early stage, and we have it's the early adoption. We talk about that bell curve of adoption. It's going to be like the intraoral scanner. It's going to be like, the people that are technically astute will bring it into their practice and get it rolling, and then eventually, 5 years from now, it's going to be just a like standard of practice.
Yeah, like I think iTero has it. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I think iTero has AI built. Now again, correct me if I'm wrong, but if they don't have AI, they've got some pretty cool software that can do some really nice sort of educational videos and pictures.
Oh yeah,
for
for sure.
patients.
Yeah.
Some smile simulator type stuff. So,
and great, man. Like for case acceptance and selling the dream. And you talk about like the full arch stuff. Like
they've got a really cool product.
Yeah, like even Ocean Ceramics. I had James and Dave and Curtis has developed like an interesting AI that's they receive a picture and they send a picture back to the practice with an like actual shade guide colors and an really? Actual
so
like
picking the real shade.
They're sending like an actual sort of more close to, rather than the turkey teeth,
Turkey teeth.
Yeah, so it's like more of like a selling actualities. You know what I mean? Like
that's cool.
That's
okay.
Going.
So question, because you're closer to some of the designers out there. Are they using AI for design? For crown design?
Oh, it's all built into it, man. And it's just it's a matter of uploading the data, right? If they've got, like you talked about a line, how much right? data do they have?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be at a point of time where it's going to look at your face and the structure of your face. And I've got the wave of Ashikaga, right? It's the golden proportions, right? It'll look at your face and design a treatment that will be not only aesthetic, but it'll be functional, like based on where
symmetrical, functional,
like how things are. Like we talk about things in 4D, like the T-scan is a really cool,
right? Where
it's moving away from the wax paper, and it's showing where the bite goes and which points are in the occlusion that are touching first and where the pressure points are. Mm-hmm. And it will redesign based on that anatomy. Like that's where it's going. It's like, and then you'll have like OraQ is all about treatment planning and options. There's so many cool things going on right now. It's like an awesome time to be a nerd, man.
It's also an awesome time to be in dentistry. Like it feels to me like everything is just sped up. You know what I mean? Like COVID happened and like we all got like scrambled for a couple of years, and then it feels like everything after COVID got faster, more efficient, more. And a lot of it by necessity because there was such a shortage of people, mm-hmm. right? But I think dental practices have become more efficient, and they've had to survive. Yeah. And I think now we're finally shaking off that COVID hangover where we're like, people are now shifting it into third and fourth gear. We're like, okay, we can go. Yeah, let's get patients in here. Let's start rocking and rolling. Yeah, it doesn't have to be as much treatment sitting in the chair anymore. I think we can probably get back to like, the way they did dentistry pre-COVID. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, I think I'm getting that sense that I'm seeing like more treatment, more patients coming in, just more turnover. Yeah. Where they're just like, I'm just busy.
Everybody seems to be busy, and that's great. Yeah.
Which I can't complain about.
January, February seemed to be a little bit slow, but March seemed to pick up. It picks up a little bit around here with PDC too, in terms of like just the
PDC is pure madness.
It's madness, yeah. But like we're so fortunate to be in an industry where there's tons of smart people, and smart people like R&D and innovation is like the amount of dollars that are being spent. We talked about a line, right?
Yeah.
Purchasing, what was the name of the design company? It's Escape, ExoCAD is not.
Okay. Well, ExoCAD is it's more than just a design software. Well, I guess it's a design software, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they must have bought, I'm forgetting now if they purchased it or if they were more licensed to use it.
No, they purchased it.
Yeah, I think
you're
right. I should know this. I sell it.
There you go. Yeah. There's so many things to know,
shame
right? Like whatever. There's so many things to know.
Do you like ExoCAD with that?
But like seriously, like the innovation and the dollars that have gone into sort of the development of some of these tools are like looking at some of the CBCT, like the 3D technology with radiography. It's really cool.
CBCT, like it's bananas.
Yeah.
Like if you're not building a practice with a CBCT, like you're in the minority. Right.
Yeah.
So like obviously I spend my time with my great Medline Sinclair clients helping them
here's
build
a
their
great
practices.
this is good. Let's go here, because like you've built a lot of practices. You've been really busy doing that. A new dentist out there just starting up.
Yeah.
What do they need technology wise?
Ooh. Well, I'm going to say everything.
Well, of course, but I'm
biased.
Be responsible.
I mean, like that comes back to be responsible. That comes back to what they want to do, right? So it's not very often a younger dentist is going to be looking to buy a practice that doesn't want to have CBCT. Like they're going to want a 3D unit. They're going to want an intraoral scanner. They're going to want some component of AI, right? Like these CBCTs now, like Vautech, they've got Clever One built into it. Like it's, when I first saw it, I was like, it blew my mind.
What's Clever One?
So it's an AI built into the software.
Okay.
It's relatively new, and it started on their X18s, their bigger machines, but I think they've now started selling it with their 12x9 units.
Yeah.
And basically it uses, and I'm not going to go too in depth in it because Curtis is the specialist.
I'll
leave that to him.
You're going to butcher it?
I will butcher it because it's new and I'm not the specialist. However, I know enough to talk about it and to say to my clients, like, look, if you're going to go down that CBCT road, let's at least look at something with Clever One, something like Clever One built into it.
Yeah.
So it can see, basically the overarching theme is that it can see stuff we can't see.
Yeah.
Right. And it's going to look at, it's like 1,000 eyeballs or maybe 1,000,000 eyeballs seeing something. And this is obviously the main point of AI is that you've got 1,000,000 eyeballs or 1,000 eyeballs looking at the image instead of just yours.
So it's a diagnostic aid?
Diagnostic aid, workflow aid.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too much.
I
know enough at this point because it's so new just to say, let Curtis show you the Clever One software.
Yeah, the future is going to be so cool. Bring in robotics and everything. You've met my good friend Sherrod, like even talking about
bariatric surgeon.
Yeah, talking about surgery. What it means to, eventually it'll be him or the like a surgeon managing a robot doing the surgery. Like it will be more precise, and it'll be it's all about sort of the success rate with things, and if you're moving microscopically, you're not causing as much damage to the soft tissue, then recovery is that much better, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, also the software has mapped everything out for you, all the nerves, all the arteries. So it's telling you exactly like millimeter by millimeter where to move. Yeah,
there's and the robotics part. Like there's I was watching this. I can't remember the technology, but it was this doctor in I think New York, I believe, was suited in. He had this big, huge augmented reality computer wrapped around his head and his hands in like the instruments, and he was operating in somebody in Dubai.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's know crazy. What I mean?
So he's halfway across the world and he's
doing a surgery on
amazing.
Somebody. Like this is and now you think about like him actually physically moving this stuff. There will be a point in time when it'll be just the doctors overlooking the technology as it does. Anesthesia will be, I think, going up. You talk about like going to the dentist, you'll be put out by anesthesiologist, and then
they're just going to have it so dialed.
In comes the robot to do the root canal or whatever that might be, or the third molar extraction or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the scope of practice is going to expand based on that premise, right? Yeah. You're going to have some form of AI, whether it's diagnostic, whether it's surgical, whether it's anesthetic, to figure out how much anesthetic to put it, whatever it is. If you've got something that's like, I got this, right? It's almost like having like a surgical mentor beside you that's done it a million times. And again, they have 1,000 eyeballs, and you're like, okay, well, I feel more confident doing an implant, my first implant surgery, knowing I've got a piece of hardware and software with me that's not going to let me fail.
That's where it's going. Yeah. Like in 20 years from now, it will be robots doing all the surgery. It'll probably be a robot we talked to Bobby Birdie about this.
It's like 5 years ago,
7 years ago. Like he's invested in some robot in Florida that's doing implants.
I never really got a chance to see it. Like I know he had, I'm not sure if he had it or if he was using it or teaching on it, but Bobby, if you want to drop a comment, you can let us know.
Yeah, Bobby, I gotta have Bob back on the podcast.
But I know he was playing with it. I know it had a big fancy name, and I didn't really get to see it too much.
But this is where it's all going. Like I know there's obviously going to be us scared little humans and afraid of the change kind of stuff, but there's going to be like receptionists answering phone calls. We're not on just the dental industry, for banks and all these. Like we're going to get used to these things. I'm writing a book right now, and I'm using 11 labs.
Right.
I've got enough.
They're so cool.
Like obviously I do the podcast, so I had enough of my own voice to make my own clone. And dude, it is like terrifying how
much it sounds
it's
like
me. Like it, like how I, like my emotion comes through in it, and like how I accentuate certain things.
Okay. So this is a great point. Okay. So like coming from the acting world.
Yeah.
Right. Now licensing becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Right. And trademarking and all that stuff. Right. Yeah. So what's to stop someone? And I'm sure again, I got
an answer for you already.
Okay, tell me, I want to use Will Arnett's voice.
So here's Disney bought the rights to Darth Vader. What's his name? Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones. Yeah.
They own his voice. He's passed. Yeah. But he sold the rights to his voice.
So do you think he saw this coming?
Disney saw it coming.
So if we have his voice, we can manipulate it.
Now Darth Vader will live into eternity.
That's crazy.
So that's like even your face, even, you talk about it like shooting a movie overnight or whatever. If you own the right, there's obviously AI actors. You know all this. I'm telling you this. So Will Arnett, it would be, the Paramount coming in and doing a full 3D scan of Will. Yeah. And he'll sit somewhere and do a full 6-hour recording of his voice, so it will train the AI on his voice, and you have a full Will Arnett digital copy, and he can sell the rights to that.
But it must have taken them forever to figure out how he's going to get compensated for that.
No, it's already set, man. There's probably
as an actor, as part of the Actors Union, the Union of British Columbia Performers, and ACTRA.
Oh, I love this. This is good conversation.
I'm a union member, and I have been one for 25 years.
So if somebody came up to you, they would so you've been in a certain amount of roles. They will value you based on your popularity, right? So if you've got somebody like Timothy Chalamet, right, an upcoming actor, he's got a lot of runway ahead of him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that runway.
Yeah. So now you can. So let's go even further from that. So name an old actor.
Charlton Heston.
Okay, so Charlton Heston, if they have some recording of him as he's younger, even, so they can use a whole spectrum of Charlton Heston throughout his whole acting career. Maybe they want
documented. Yeah.
Maybe they want a young Charlton Heston in this role. They can.
So can they pull archives out, like celluloid, and be like, we want to pull the sound off of this celluloid?
That's where it's going. Even some of the Avengers, Robert Downey Jr. There's some scenes where he's a younger Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
They made him a younger Robert Downey Jr. in this movie.
Okay, so, but from the actors, from the livelihood perspective of it.
Oh, I know. I understand.
This is where the actors we get infuriated. Right?
Oh, I get.
Like, you don't understand how this eliminates me.
I know it does.
So, and I feel for agents and managers because they're the ones who have to wrestle with this, and of course unions. But, and this is where clout and runway and like who's the biggest star coming up and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. Okay, many years ago, I got right before I joined the union. Okay, the Union of British Columbia Performers and ACTRA. I went out for a commercial for a certain automobile company, and a couple of days later, my agent called and said, "Hey, you got this commercial. Congratulations!" And I was like, oh, "Okay, cool. What are the implications of it? What am I going to make? I don't know. I'm green, right? I'm like, am I going to make a lot of money?" And they're like, "You'll get your session fee. We'll see. It's non-union, so it's not going to pay you a ton." But they're going to pay. You're going to get more. Typically, when you get a non-union gig, you'll get a lot of money up front, and then it just kind of goes away.
Yeah.
Where it becomes a problem is that when they want to use your image and your sound in perpetuity,
sure,
and you don't have a union representing you, saying no, you only get it for this amount of time. If you want to use it after that amount of time, you got to pay the actor again.
Yeah,
and that's how royalties got born and all the rest of it. So I booked this car commercial. Well, guess what? I did this car commercial, and 2 or 3 months later, I booked a commercial, which was now a U.S. national for a major automobile company.
Yeah.
Okay. U.S. national is going to be shown in like 30 states. This is where the actor goes, cha-ching, I can live for a couple of years now. Now I can like do my craft for a little while and do my thing. So my agent goes like, "Oh, great news. You got this." Again, I won't see which company it is. You got this huge U.S. national. It shoots this date, blah, 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 blah. He calls me a couple days later. He's like, "Bad news. You can't do that commercial." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "This other company owns the rights to your, there's unlimited rights right now on your images and your sound and I can't remember how it all went down. It was so long ago, but my agent was kind of giving me crap because he was like, you shouldn't have done that non-union gig. You should have just, waived it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I didn't know. Like no one told me. I didn't know the rules. Mm-hmm. The long and the short of it is he was amazing and sort of figured out a way to negotiate because the big car company was like, "No, we kind of want that actor. Like he fits exactly what we want this character to look like." So they negotiated and I ended up getting a chance to do the car commercial and everything worked out in the end. Mm-hmm. But because I did the non-union thing, it jeopardized my ability to do something bigger and better and amazing. So when you're claiming the rights to someone's image, when you're buying the rights to something, when someone's selling it, if you're like, you say the saying, "I'm going to sell my soul." It's like, well, hold on a second. Before you sell your soul, George Lucas just called and they want you to be in Star Wars. Did you sign the contract yet?
Yeah.
Right. So that's where this can get really dicey.
Well, what's really I'm going to take it a few steps further and where it's going. So 11 Labs, I've recorded my voice. I can sell it. If people use my voice on 11 Labs, I get paid on that.
That is so cool.
I can create.
So there's going to be another DentalBytes podcast soon. Is that what we're saying?
Fuck. I can refuse actually. Right. If somebody wants to use it for certain things, I can pull it. But you're right. That's that question. There's going to be in the future some nerd like me and that knows how to use the tools properly that can make a full spectrum of actors with different voices that I'm
sure they probably can.
They can already do it. So if I own the rights to all these creative, these characters, mm-hmm. I can essentially I'm the agent now selling these characters to Netflix or whatever that might be. Or Netflix will generate, there's going to be AI actors that are well known that don't even exist.
Well, you can see the evolution of intellectual property now. Right?
Oh, I know.
It was important before AI. Don't get me wrong. Intellectual property has always been an important thing. Yeah. That's why there are literary agents. That's why the whole agent manager industry exists. So to protect intellectual property.
I know, and now we know why the front end receptionist is worried about their job.
But she is the intellectual property.
Yeah,
This is what I'm saying. Is that
so you can
people want to see her.
It's actually a good time to be somebody that's trained like you. You should be in here recording your voice doing, "I'm the bad guy," and doing that for 3 hours on 11 Labs and having a whole Like there's one guy named Oxley on 11 Labs that has made like 20 different voices. He's a voice actor, and you can use his voice. Like I'm narrating the book that I'm writing with probably 3 or 4 of the voices that he's like characters that he's created.
Cool. Yeah.
And he gets 20 cents.
I'm gonna do that.
20 cents for every 1,000 words that I use them for. But if, I'm using them for 1,000 and somebody else is, you know what I mean? That's where it's going.
But I think, so say we've got a receptionist, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Tom,
right? We always think the receptionists are 100% female. There's male receptionists.
All right, well,
too. Come
Tom.
on. So, Tom is worried about his job. And we say, you know what, Tom, why don't we make you an AI?
Yeah.
So when the phone rings after hours, they're talking to you.
Well, that's something like if we want with our service, we can sit down we can bring them in here. We're brainstorming. This is awesome.
Right.
We can have like a receptionist sit in here for 3 hours and just record their voice for 3 hours, and we can create.
It might be a new business that Dennis on Demand's going to start doing.
It is.
We're going to start creating virtual,
real. Well, Karen would
teams.
like it's all interconnected. Like these AI softwares are all interconnected. So
we have all the tools. Like look at the lights and microphones.
I know.
We could do it in here.
So here's the thing. Like we're running this company as 2 dudes. Like you know what I mean? Like we're maybe seen as in the industry as being bigger than what we are, and a lot of the reason why we appear the size that we are is because I couldn't do all this stuff without the technology.
Yeah, but this is you, man. Like, come on, I got to give credit where credit's due. Okay, so if you're watching right now, like I got to say, like this guy is a technical genius. Like you've got. I don't know what that computer is running. I don't know what this computer is running, and I don't know how big that this stuff, this room you've built, the technology, like that. You've got a board there where you're pushing 4 buttons between the camera angles. Like you're literally changing the. Okay, that's making me dizzy. Don't do that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But
I'm just showing
you're going to
off
give me a seizure.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But I'm just. This is something that needs to be recognized, right? To say like you've got a sound mixing board there, you've got a camera mixing board, you've got like beautiful equipment in here.
It's expensive,
right? So like to run a successful company nowadays, you need to have a Marc Wagner. Right?
Well,
you need to have someone who can who can do the creative, who can create the content, who can give you a louder voice.
Well, and that's
which is what you've done.
Why we've had a lot of fun over the last little bit. Like, some of the projects that I've been so fortunate to work in, and I thank you.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
You're welcome.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's our favorite place to hang out, right?
This is so cool in here. Yeah, it's. I feel, it's in your house. Obviously, I've said that like a bunch of times. Like
it's no secret. It's
but
we bought. Well, when we looked at this house, I'm like, well, we know what this room's going to be.
Yeah.
Right. So it worked out perfectly.
I spent 2 weeks. Yeah. It's been.
Marc built this whole studio.
Yeah.
Just so everyone's aware. Okay. I came in once in a while and went, looks great. See you later, man. Like
yeah.
Like it's a great symbiotic relationship where it's like you bring the creative, and then I bring more to the business than I probably should. I should spend more time in the creative. It's ironic that I'm an actor.
Yeah.
And you're as creative as you are. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
One thing do you mind if I do a quick plug we have an event coming up?
Oh, yes.
We have a couple events coming up,
yes,
and I do want to, the main sort of feature event, I actually just sent it over to you. Not that one. I just sent you the other one.
Okay.
The Build Your Dream Practice.
Oh.
So as we know, I am a consultant for Medline Sinclair, and I want to give this event a plug because it is super cool. I have a personal connection to this event, and there's a bit of a story behind it.
You know what I'm going to do?
Can you make that bigger?
I'm going to put it over you. If I do make it bigger,
please put it over me. I look terrible.
Here, we'll get
I need to lose some weight.
No, you're fine. There.
Okay, so there's the details. So May 21st, so that's coming up. That's basically in a month, a couple days ago. So just under a month. We're going to be doing it at Plan Your Space. What does that say? 4010 Myrtle Street. I can barely read that.
Yeah.
Burnaby, BC, 6 p.m.
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
It sucks.
It will be $50 per person. So obviously this is geared towards anyone who's considering building a practice. And it doesn't matter how far you are. How far out you are. If it's just something in the back of your brain, if it's something where you're like, I'm about to sign my lease, come on down, register We should put the registration link in the notes.
We'll just scan the QR code.
Scan the QR code.
Take out your phone and scan that QR code on the screen.
So what's so cool about this is they'll take your design, and I met Manny about 4 or 5 years ago, I think when we were about to build Faraj's practice.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
And I literally just saw him doing, like, showing how build your you can keep that up if you want. Showing how Plan Your Space works. And Plan Your Space is a brilliant company where you can basically take the design of your home, your office, whatever it is you plan on building, and you can take your design and project it onto the floor. So you're basically walking through
actual scale,
the actual real dimensions of the practice.
Yeah.
So like how this applies to dentistry is, if you can look at the real size of the dental chair, you can look at how big the operatory is. You can figure out, you can sit in the space and go, okay, is this enough space? Like, is 10 by 11 enough? Do I need more space? And then just sort of, you can build or design whatever equipment or space sort of requirements you need off of this, and you can make adjustments. Brilliant idea that I found about 3 or 4 years ago, and then now we're bringing it to Medline Sinclair on May 21st. So either drop me a line or just scan that QR code to come on out, because it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna blow your mind.
Okay, great.
That's my shameless plug for Build Your Dream Practice.
Well, while we're at it,
we have another event.
What's this all about?
This is a good friend of mine, Dr. Derek Ho.
Oh,
shameless plug hour.
Just do it. Let's do the plugs. Go for it.
There. Okay, so Dr. Derek Ho, he's doing a wonderful study club event, braces versus aligners, how to choose the right tool for each case. Are you waving at me or waving?
No, I'm still in the shop.
Okay.
Keep going.
So that's at the Brew Hall. That's actually the day before the Plan Your Space event. So that's at 6:30 at the Brew Hall at, see if I can read this properly, 97 East 2nd Avenue in Vancouver. Food and drinks will be served. So you'll see us at that as well. And built a practice for Derek last year. Actually kind of built a practice and a half for him last year. He put the Vautech X18 CBCTs in his practice. So if you want to talk to him about how awesome those machines are, definitely come to this event. Ask him, pick his brain. But so this will go through sort of clear aligners versus braces. What's the best option for your patient? There. Shameless plugs are almost complete.
What's this, Ty?
You're gonna make me talk about all of it. So obviously we talked quite a bit about AI today. So as we mentioned, Dentist on Demand has done let's go right to the price page, thanks. Has done a pretty major pivot into AI. So that's why we talk so much about the AI receptionist, the agentic AI that we've built into this solution. So this is really designed to really kind of be like an all-in-one for your marketing solution. It's not designed to replace any of the other great softwares out there, like the partners that we work with, because they do a lot more on the analytics side within your practice. Whereas this is more about having the agent help bring the patient into your practice, book them in, automate reviews, and eliminate costs like what it would cost you to do like an in-practice email out to all of your patients. I think if you scroll down, it'll tell you what sort of costs you're eliminating out of the practice. Keep going. Oh, you're close.
Without having
ditch dozens of. So SEO, for example, this is really going to help drive your SEO, because now your website becomes a living entity that is really interacting with people on the daily. ClickFunnels. I don't want to single out any companies here to say we're not going to target them, but we're just saying if you're paying too much for subscriptions, this all-in-one solution might be the right fit for you. So
we were talking about subscriptions earlier, and man, oh man. Calendly is $80 a month.
And it's been a great solution for us. But,
yeah, it has.
If we need to streamline it, is what it is, right? I mean, these companies are going to evolve and change, and they're going to have their own AIs as well. So I certainly. They're great solutions. That's why we use them as well.
You always talk about things so respectfully. I love it.
Well, I just don't want to say ours is so much better. It's not really where I'm
going. Nobody believes it. Right?
We're trying to create an all-in-one solution that's going to help eliminate the bounce rate from the practice.
Yeah, and
book every patient in, right?
And we covered all of this. It's happening. So why not work with a company like us that, man, oh man, how many years have you been doing this now for in the industry?
It's coming on 10 years, man.
It's wild, man.
I mean, we're trying to market dentists in an non-traditional way.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's talking AI. There's a lot of people trying to promote their AI receptionists right now.
A lot.
I think ours, the name speaks for itself, Dentist on Demand. Patients are going to go to Dentist on Demand to book an AI, go to use AI to book an appointment into your practice, right? So we have the directory plus the agent built in. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch, and the name says it all, right?
I agree. To get a hold of us, there's so many different ways. Any of our social media platforms, leave us just DM us.
What is the best way to get a hold of us?
I don't however you feel.
We had someone emailing us last night, by the way.
I saw that.
They came through the
They saw that they had a listing and they wanted to be the owner of it.
They want to take a listing.
Guess what? You're going to have to pay for it. I'm just kidding.
What are you talking about? Of course I have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So like if someone's like, hey, I want to talk to Mark or I want to talk to Tyler, how do we make it easy for people? Just
marc@dentistondemand.com or Tyler
@dentistondemand.com.
There, sure, done.
Easy.
I'm gonna close the this session with just a thank you so much for tuning in.
I thought you were punking me when you put that up there, like when you first showed me that. Not now, but like does that really say?
Yeah, we're almost clicked over 2 million downloads since this podcast has started. So I just want to take a moment here to just really
seriously, thank you.
As two like non-clinical guys, kind of from the inside, we haven't either of us spent a day in an office. We've spent a lot of time, obviously, on the peripheries and doing all these activities.
We talk a lot of clinical, but we're not clinically trained.
Well, exactly. That's a good way to put it. And we've seen things from the laboratory to the equipment company to the you name it. This is our little piece and love. Like a lot of people, I don't think people realize that this show is not monetized. Like this is from our hearts.
I know.
And I know that
we want to monetize someday.
I know. And that's something that we've talked about, is having little sponsorship spots. But
I think we get value out of it.
When you have it's become monetized, there's that kind of the slippery slope of what am I hearing right now? Who's paying him to say that? That's what I worry about. Like this is obviously like folks come on to the show and we talk about real things. There's no sort of smoke and mirror business going on. And it's crazy.
Well, we eat, sleep and breathe it, right? Like when you're out there, like I'm in dental offices all day, every day. Yeah. Right. So I think that talking about it is for me is fairly second nature, because it's like I just saw this an hour ago.
Yeah.
Right. I was in a dental office an hour, like this morning I was picking out instruments with a CDA in West Van, right? You know what I mean? Like just I was there, I was in the office and I was like, hey, like just talking clinically with people about what they're doing and trying to help enhance their practice.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's really at the sort of heart of what we do.
Yeah.
Is that my job day to day is to make a practice more efficient, make it help them help their patients. Right? However I can, whatever I can do to help that practice have more success.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really kind of, and you as well, right? With the content, the video shoots.
Well, for me, I'm a little bit like a 30,000 foot view on the entire industry at this point. Like the folks that I'm talking to across the industry from, I can't, I've signed NDAs, so I can't talk about who I'm talking to and working with. But just having a breadth of what's happening out there, that really helps too. Like this podcast, like talking to everybody, innovators in picking their brain for an hour is like, and doing 160 of these has been a ton of fun.
Is that how many it's been so far?
Yeah, this will probably be closer to 170, but like that's on paper. We've done a significant more.
But we were doing them in 2019 when people were like, "What? Why are you doing that?"
Yeah. Now everybody's
You're
trying
doing
to
a dental podcast.
everybody's
What's the
trying to
point?
do them dental podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, like I think that's a testament to your staying power, right? Like 2 million downloads, that's not too shabby, man.
Well, it's because you just, to make it work, you just keep going. And if anybody wants to start anything like this, I'm more than happy to talk. If there's anybody out there that wants to start a podcast or something along these lines, give me a shout or email me again. I'm happy to talk about.
It's actually a really good point. Yeah.
What equipment you would need and everything like that. I don't know. Like I don't want to talk about how much time like really figuring out how to make all these little things work, and it's not always perfect. But
You haven't even showed me how to do it yet.
I would love for you to sit here and
I can't do my own podcast
press all these
because
buttons.
you've teched it up so much that I don't know what things do in here. So it's, again, that's a testament to your creative genius. So
Well,
thank you.
thank you. And it just allows the velocity of these things to be that much more.
Thank you for everyone for all the downloads and watching, and we hope you enjoyed today. That was a live stream.
Yeah, we did like this is like Tyler's coming home in 10 minutes, and hey, guess what? We're gonna do a pod. So
Put on your dancing shoes.
Put on your dancing shoes, and we'll see you on the next one.
Have a great